Dog parks are petri dishes for canine rape culture. Female dogs are an oppressed class compared with male dogs and are subject to threats of canine rape. Men might be trained out of sexual violence and bigotry. Literally leashing men might be politically unfeasible, but okay, so what's happened? Those guys sent 20 prank papers to the science journals. Journals already accepted 7 and rejected 3 of them when prank was reviewed. The fail was so deep that after cosmetic edits they even accepted a piece of Mein Kampf. I would be calling that Hitlergate because it needs some name.
Come on, people write fake articles all the time, and all the time there is somebody who falls for the trick, right?
Yes and no. First, the previous big scientific fakes used the papers that were nightmare hard. For the guy next door they looked like legit science. Even a real scientist could mistake and think he just doesn't know enough to understand the paper. And Hitlergate papers are just blah 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 like some Facebook post. Even I see they don't make any scientific claims that can be checked, any experiments that can be made, any research that were done. They're just discussing with air. Even SCP Foundation articles look more scientific. Second, they had scary accuracy at predicting biased journals. 70% is not a joke. All the journals were at least B journals. B journals are like B movies, just journals. They are far from the best, but they are still okay. The secret is simple. They all were describing themselves as feminist or used social justice buzzwords like harassment, abuse, privilege, and so on. And I don't see journals using right-wing buzzwords and declaring themselves alt-right, for example. We also don't have complete bullshit published by hardline right-wingers like Cato or Ayn Rand Institute, for example. I talked with an open heart to whites I knew until my voice became hoarse and my throat sore. I still held out hope, believing that I could finally persuade them of the danger and inhumanity of whiteness and privilege, and verbal outreach out the form of activism was not enough. My struggle. The scientific paper published in affiliate journal. So it's not just some journals accepting fake, it's feminist slang in journals being a big bullshit welcome sign. So do we have left propaganda journals calling themselves scientific? Yes and no. There are some journals full of useless texts made of social justice newspeak, but it's not propaganda because nobody reads that shit. Seriously, they are written not for humans but for scientific algorithms. Just like Hitlergate was a result of optimizing videos for YouTube algorithms, Hitlergate is a result of optimizing journals for scientific practices. Those feminist journals publish in fact empty papers that reference each other. So they inflate citation index of the papers and journals. And citation index is the main indicator of the journal quality used by community. They take money for it, so it's sort of microtransaction boost in science. When they get notable index, libraries and universities subscribe to them, but then nobody reads them. No real human readers involved, so no need for real review.
That it's suspicious how straight men rarely anally self-penetrate using sex toys, and that is probably due to fear of being thought homosexual. Encouraging them to engage in receptive penetrative anal eroticism will decrease transphobia and increase feminist values.
Going to the back door, published in Sexuality and Culture.
Fuck you.
So, feminism is just a shibboleth. It's a way to identify each other. It's like a conspiracy without a mystery, more like winking to each other. Hey, I know what you want and you know what I want, so you know what I mean, huh? And so they formed a circle jerk of garbage journals. Hitlergate papers checked that by referring to each other, and that worked.
Even during double-blind trials, chemicals in the water demonstrate a big tendency towards making amphibians accepting feminist values.
It's not Hitlergate, it's Alex Jones actually rewritten. But come on, he deserves a science degree much more than those reviewers in affiliate. What looked like a crazy ideology just appeared to be a petty abuse of the system by a small number of people. And every time you hear about another feminist got crazy story, just look where is that little Potts making his profit. Thanks for watching. That is only oppressive cultural norms some make in society regards the building of muscles is more admirable than building a fat. Both bodybuilding and fat activism could be benefited by including fat bodies displayed in non-competitive ways as a part of professional bodybuilding. The fat body is a legitimately built body. Fat bodybuilding published in Fat Studies Journal.